Hi, I'm Nancy Adair, and I'm talking to you about dreams, one of my favorite subjects. Right now, I'm going to describe a number of different types of dreams, and I want you to think about which type of dream you dream most commonly, and just make a note if you've had a nightmare or a healing dream or a visitation. And then also make a special note to a style of dreaming that is, again, most common for you. There are 7 that I've picked out to just tap on. I'm sure there are many more. The first is nightmares. And nightmares are the dreams that wake you up in the middle of the night, that you might wake up sweating or feeling stressed or catching your breath, or sometimes it's as if you screamed out loud. A lot of times when we think we're screaming really loud in our nightmare, we're like mumbling. Ah! And we rarely come fully awake from a nightmare with full vocal capacity. Anyway, Jeremy Taylor, who is someone that I followed and have done a workshop with before he passed away, unfortunately, a few years back. And Jeremy Taylor talked about all dreams being in service to your health and well-being, and particularly nightmares. And why is that? Because they are very easily remembered. They make their mark. So the next time you have a nightmare, think about, what is the message? What is it that I am receiving from this nightmare that gives me a message toward health and wellness, toward a whole way of being for my soul? Next, I'll talk to you about pleasant dreams. These are dreams that we look forward to, that we may or may not recall when we wake up, and we wake up feeling good. And they are lightmares. The nightmare is a dark horse. The lightmare is a light horse. How often are your dreams pleasant? The Naskapi Indians talked about there being one word for both their breath and their dreams. And they called their dreams their good friend. And if the good friend came to visit and you entertained them, you spent time with them, understanding them, then the best friend, the good friend, would come visit more regularly and more often. And the more you responded to your friendship, to this relationship, the more frequent it became. And then the Naskapi said that the dreams would start to give you messages. And when, again, you responded to those messages, sometimes enacting them in plays or drawing a picture, making art, making a drum, then the dreams would come with more messages, and finally with requests or even demands. And if you followed the dream command, then the dreams would be, even stronger and come to visit more often. Now, if you ignore your dreams, according to the Naskapi, you'd stop breathing, your heart would cease to beat. The next dreams that I'd like to talk about are prophetic dreams. What makes a dream prophetic? It's that it comes to pass. All right. So maybe you've dreamt that someone was in need of your attention and they called 10 minutes after you wake up. I'm not sure I've ever had a prophetic dream. I've had dreams actually recently where I utilize what came to me in the dream in a process of visualization toward manifesting what I want to happen, which happened in the dream. So I'll give you the example. In one of my dreams in the last year, I saw my Comfort Her quilt project, which includes 7 quilts in the project and several more, 5 more that would be in an exhibit. And I saw the exhibit taking place in the Boston Women's Conference on the backside of the exhibit hall, to be exact. I mean, it was specific and it was like possible. I remember waking up and calling a friend, and she was like, well, why not? So I hope that's a prophetic dream. Have you ever had a dream that came true, came to pass? And sometimes I think there are things that come about, and then I'm thinking, God, that feels really familiar, kind of like deja vu. Deja vu might be a prophetic dream. And then we have healing dreams, dreams that feel healing to you, that you feel warmth or cared for in a dream. There are dreams that are healing dreams where you are the healer and you're healing someone else through, healing with hands or taking care of someone that's fallen, or any type of healing dream. And when those occur too, I think about one of the ways to interpret dreams is to imagine that you are every character in your dream and every object in your dream. And so it might be looking at what is my need for healing in this dream. And just make note if you have healing dreams. The next category is lucid dreaming. And lucid dreams are dreams where you wake up, yet you're still dreaming. So in the dream, you wake up, you might notice that you're dreaming, you have an awareness that you're dreaming, and you're still asleep, you're still dreaming. Just the other day, one of my clients talked about having a lucid dream. And again, I've read a book on lucid dreaming. I've done some fun experimenting with how to have lucid dreams, and I've yet to have lucid dreams. There are those dreams that come right before waking up that I'm like aware that I'm dreaming. And I think that's different than having a lucid dream in the middle of your dream time. Another category is visitors and visitations. Now, this, I believe, is really spiritual dreaming. It's when you have visitations from someone you recognize in your dream. One of the things I absolutely love and find fascinating about dreams is that characters can be someone else when they're in your dream. An example of this, one of my favorite examples, Dustin Hoffman was in one of my dreams, only in my dream, I recognized Dustin Hoffman as my father. So I was also standing on a rock high above a paradisial waterfall, like in Hawaii or something, and this beautiful lagoon was down below, and a man that I had loved for years was in the water below and said, jump, and it's like I could hear him easily, which over the thunder of a waterfall would not be real. It's another aspect of dreams that I absolutely love, that things happen that don't happen in our experience of this reality that we live in. So anyway, Dustin Hoffman is standing on the side and I'm standing on a rock over this waterfall, and Michael says, jump. And I look back at Dustin Hoffman and he said, jump. And I jumped. And I felt the visceral experience of whooshing down alongside the waterfall to the water below. It was wonderful. And so that is a form of visitation. And here I'll introduce what I just learned about Emanuel Swedenborg's interpretation of dreams. He felt that spirits from heaven and hell, those were his terms when he was alive, but spirits from other realms all played characters in your dreams to bring you messages. That is their way of speaking to you. And so that was a really interesting way to think about all dreams as visitations. The other visitation that I think of as really spiritual is when people that you've known in your lifetime who have passed on come into your dreams. And sometimes it can feel like they're there again. They're just right there. And those have been very special. That is something that I experience with some frequency throughout my life. And then the last category for this introduction, and I'd be very pleased to see on Facebook where you have other types of dreams that you'd like to mention and talk about. This last category is archetypal dreams. These are the dreams like the dream I had when I was 9, to see the polar bears across the bridge in another world. Those dreams that dream in particular has stayed with me an entire lifetime. I'm 67, so nearly 60 years I can remember it. That's what makes a dream archetypal. It stays with you. Okay, it's the magnitude of the dream. And then we'll go on in the next segment to talk about techniques to enhance dream recall.